Okay, Andy Graham of Hobo Traveler and Grant C. from born and raised in Northern California, but he didn't really say where he's from. Asked such an excellent question. I'm making it jump the whole queue and go right to the top because it's so fun. He says, ask about me, born and raised in Northern California. I am 40 years old. The wife and I have sold our house and our cars. So basically he's getting rid of it. We have scaled down all our commitments down to storage units throughout North America. Throughout North America? It's all over the place. That's an interesting thing. You don't usually have storage units in more than one location. We have mail forwarding set up at a virtual office. We both work over the internet. We are now exploring new locations on where to live. So I hope that gives you some perspective on us. Thank you. That was perfect. I mean, this is exactly what I like. I mean, he's non-committal on where he's from and whatever. He did tell me his last name and his email, right? So I'm not, I just want to get some background. He's 40 years old. He's got married to a wife. I hope she's not 68 or 58, my age. And he says, now the question, what would you do if you had a windfall of $1 million? What would you do if you had $1 million? A windfall. Somehow I had $1 million today, and boom. Assume that you have paid off all the necessary taxes and helped out family members who needed it. The sum left over was $1 million. I mean, yeah, that's see, he really is qualifying this. This is excellent. Hope you are doing well. Yes, Grant C., I am doing well. And I made a list and I'm answering it because I was thinking, what would I change? Okay. I would probably work harder to get private taxis between cities. So instead of going from here in Caratogo by an outrageously annoying bus, it cost me, let's see what it cost me, $6,012 to go 200 miles, right? I would pay $40 or $50 and get rid of the problem. Okay, because the only thing onerous about travel is these, basically configuring. But it takes longer to organize the taxi, and it's a little more dangerous because taxi drivers could drive off into the woods and basically rob you, tell your friends they're coming. So basically you have to be very careful about this, but I can do it because I have the skills. But I would make sure that I did. I did this in Guatemala. I went between Rio Dulce and paid $100 for a thing. We actually shared it with a lady. We went from Lagua to Rio Dulce by this private van. And when I fly into Guatemala now, I take a private car from Guatemala City to La Guatemala. And like you fly into certain places, you want to just get off, get a hotel, then arrange for a taxi to go the whole way and not deal with all the bus transfer. See, buses, you got to wait for the bus, you got to do all this stuff, and it really is just get rid of the whole thing. Is you just get in a car and go. But I don't want to own the car. Okay, so that's my first impression. What would I do with $1 million? I would make the pain of sitting in the seat on a bus or a train or an airplane go away. Like right now, I'm going to fly in the United States. I have to take a bus from Chicago Airport to the South Bend Airport, and my sister's got to pick me up. I would just pay for a taxi straight to my parents' house. And yeah, it's going to cost me $150, but it's not just a big deal, right? Okay, I'm not going to rent the car though. Okay. Or, you might rent the car and then drop it off, and it's going to cost you $300. So basically, I'm going to remove all the pain of travel. Okay, that's my first dream, is getting rid of the pain of travel. I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to live at a $10 a night hotel because these places are culturally interesting. Okay, I'm not going to change that. I mean, sometimes you got to go to 20, right? Okay, I would probably think about it. I would buy about $100K probably in gold or silver, and I would bury it in the ground somewhere. That's going to be my insurance cost. Now, at age 58 as opposed to 40, I'm going to pretend I'm 40. At 40, you got almost 40 years left, so I have to. You can still do it, but I would. You don't want to really get into any kind of risky investments after 58. You just preserve the principal. You don't really need to. You maybe get your 5% interest or 3% interest. You don't go for your 35% windfall things. You do that between the ages of 20 and 40, right? And then that's when you can lose it all and redo it again. At age 58, I can't do it over and over and over again. My brain's going to get weak, right? But I would take $100K and put it into a commodity like gold, silver, something that's at the bottom right now, not at the top. May have to wait, but I make sure it's at a dip, and then I would buy it, then I would bury it in the ground. Probably inside the United States. Okay. So then I have $900,000 left over. I would put, they got an FDIC balance. I'm not sure if they changed it or anything, but there's an insurance on each account. Then I would put it in 4 or 5 different banks, different states, because I'm a traveler. I have to put them in different states so that one state can't claim these things. When you have large sums of money, people try to take it, okay? Whether it's the U.S. government or whatever, right? And they put a claim and they can put a hold on it, whatever. So I would probably put it in an FDIC bank in 4 different banks and make sure that it was all internet accessible and get a ATM card in each one of the accounts. And then one of these things I would probably, I know Terry S. from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I would say, Terry, I want to pay you $1,000 retainer just to be a power of attorney, special power of attorney, not anything and everything attorney, to do specific things I want you to do inside the United States with the money, because sometimes I would need transfers if I'm going to travel, right? So I need a power of attorney, and then I need a backup attorney, and I have these 2 attorneys. I have Terry, and then I have Bruce, and I know these guys, so I would give them $1,000 to realize I'm not playing games, get them to sign a power of attorney, and they're going to, like eat up that whole $1,000 just talking about it, right? Because they're attorneys, right? And that would give somebody besides my mother the power of attorney to go do stuff, right? Because sometimes you need ding, and then I would talk to Debbie and to make sure that she had also a limited power of attorney, which works in banks. So I have 3 or 4 people that have the ability to move money around only by my dictate. Okay, and this sounds funny, but I would buy Beeple, I'm not sure what it's called, Beeple Insurance. It's from England. I would get health insurance, because most of these, if it doesn't cost more than $100 a month. If it doesn't, I would rather, I don't know what's the name. I don't know the name of it, but it's an insurance company out of England. I don't think anything in America even comes close. See, what happens is, Depot Total Insurance Company United. What's the name of this company? Okay, well, there's an insurance company on it. England has people that live in all these Commonwealth countries, and they have these insurances that are really actually worldwide. While America, the fine print says, as soon as you go into a country that's not recommended by the U.S. government, we cut you off. Of course, if I got in a big sickness, even if I had insurance, I would fly into America before I would apply for the insurance, because I don't trust the fine print on the insurance company. But I would pay for health insurance just because it's nothing, no big deal. I don't have health insurance, right? Okay, and I'd love to have insurance for cancer, so I might figure out how to have explosive cost of cancer thing. Okay, then the 2 fun ones. These are the fun ones. Okay, so I got like, what, $900,000, $800,000 to play with. I mean, that's, if you divide, I'm 68, I'm 58, so I say I go to 80, I got 22 years. So you divide 800,000 by 22, so I would take 800, a calculator. I'm going to say 80 years old, or if I say, let's say 85, let's say 25 years. So I got 8, it don't matter because this is so much money that I can't even spend it. that's not true. Everybody can spend it. It is 800 divided by 25 years. Put myself on a budget. I have $32,000 to spend a year. That's easy. I don't have to do anything for the rest of my life. I can retire and I don't have to make money. But I like to play, so I probably would take about 100,000 of it and start playing with some things. Now being me, I'm going to go buy, I need $30,000 right now, right? I want to invest $30,000 in for sale by Amazon products. I want to make a nice little travel store. I don't think there's any way for me to lose money. So dumping $30,000 on products I believe in is nothing. So it's guaranteed cash, so I would do it. Okay, so I would drop $30,000 in for sale by Amazon products and make 20, 30 different products for sale by thing, and then I would do it. But that's me. I'm a guy that has a specific product already, and I would, I got some secret pockets sitting here. I'll laugh. Here's a bunch of secret pockets I bought the other day, and I would go buy $2,000 worth of them here, and not just a short amount of money instead of and then I would arrange a little more long term, and then go into it a little bigger, but not much bigger, just about 30,000, same as what I would do right now anyway if I had the money. Okay. Whatever I would do, I would probably get rid of these used storage places if I could, because any kind of monthly fees eat away at your principal. So if you could buy a garage and own the space and store all the stuff, but you really got to get rid of all that stuff. I mean, you really don't need multiple used storage places if you actually have them. I mean, maybe I'm reading this wrong, right? And slowly pare down all that stuff, because you don't want any monthly fees. I would never ever have, I'm never going to have a monthly payment again unless I'm just forced to. Like I pay for my website monthly, and I pay for the domain monthly, not monthly, yearly. But they're petty cash, right? In a way, especially for $1 million. But I only do these things when there's just no choice whatsoever. Okay. For me, I know me. I would be an angel. An angel is a guy that wants to be involved in a business. I see people that want to start small hotels, right? Hostels in Central and South America. They're in Colombia and they want to have a hostel. Like I did this in Iquitos, Peru. I actually started a hostel for a guy. He's been living off it for 10 years. Cost us $2,000 to do it. But really you can give $10,000 to a guy, start a hostel. They rent a big house. They completely make beds in all the rooms, and they start a hostel, and then it grows on the income. But I would make it an all equity thing where there's basically and it would be fun for me because I wouldn't do any work. I mean, I'm not going to do any physical labor on any of these things, because I would just enjoy watching the person as an angel giving advice on how to do it. So I got this 28-year-old guy, girl and boyfriend hopefully, and I would maybe do a couple hostels. Like I got a friend in Ecuador, maybe he'd buy the house instead of living in it. There's hostels that I really love that I might go into partners with and try to get it so I have a steady room and they can't ever put me out. I mean, I like to keep some of these places open, but I'm not going to do that. I would just do maybe one or two. Just fun. But there's I didn't say, okay, me invent, go see Bob. I really like to invent things. So for me, I know that I would be spending at least $50,000 to $100,000 inventing things. I got an idea on how to level tables. I got all these inventions I want to do, and each one of them costs $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000 to develop. You need a prototype. You need to do. And I would have a great time playing and inventing, because I'm a do-it-yourself type guy. I can invent some. I was on Quirky, and I can submit inventions, and I could make it, 100 of them. They're fun to me, but each one of them, to really bring them to an idea of something, needs about 1,000 to 5,000 each one. So I would probably do a lot of inventions for fun and then try to market them, because I like to do the entrepreneurial stuff. Other than that, I would live off the principle and make sure that I save the money and never spend the money unless I have to. I mean, diversify it all over in all these bank accounts in America. Maybe put 100,000 outside the United States, but I'm not worried about the United States going under. If the United States goes under, all the other countries are already under, okay? And trust me, they can seize you a lot. I mean, America, we do have the, but it's scary. But that's what I would do. But I would spend probably spend $150,000 developing inventions and products. And that would be my risky money, right? All the rest would be saving for the rest of my life, right? I hope that was a good answer. I had a lot of fun with that one. I mean, I'd really like to have $1 million. I would have $30,000 to buy my travel products. Okay, I forget. I would continue to travel just like I'm doing. I want you to know I wouldn't stop traveling. There wouldn't be really much change at all in the travel thing. I'm not going to stop traveling. I'm not going to buy a house. I'm not going to buy a car.